So why do people travel? And I'm not just talking about those who just go on vacation or on holidays. I'm talking about those who pretty much just live abroad, who travel long term, who has uprooted their lives and sometimes their whole family lives to go live overseas in a completely different country. What is the draw to this little movement that's been happening these days? What is the allure? What is this wanderlust bug addiction that no one is looking to get rehabilitated for anytime soon? In my experience and the people that I've talked to and in my own reasons, I feel like there are three main reasons. The first one is to escape. The second one is to run away, and they're two different things. And the third one is they're searching for something. And in this video, I want to break those three things down. So if you're interested, please stay tuned.
Seems satisfied cause it's
Hey guys, welcome back to Live, Love, Life, and Travel. This is your girl Shamika, and if you're new here, welcome. Just to let you know, I upload my videos throughout the week, and I upload my travel topic videos throughout the weekdays, and my free talk videos throughout the weekend. So if you're interested, please hit that subscribe button. So first, let's talk about the Great Escape. The escape from the country, the society, the community, or whatever the ideology that you were born into and raised into to believe in. I think people want to escape from that. In my opinion, in most Western countries, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this, but I feel like we've all been given a rule book and we've all been taught this since we were little kids to go by. You grow up, you go to school, you go to college, you graduate from college, you get a career, you get married, you have kids, you retire, and then you die. And that's pretty much it. And along the way, you should gain certain things. You should get a house, you should get a car, you should, achieve a promotion. And even though I don't think there's anything wrong with that, I feel like that doesn't fit everybody else's personality. That's just not how everyone else was built. No, everybody doesn't want to live their lives this one sort of way, this one flat way. I think people want to escape the never-ending 9 to 5 stuck in traffic type of life. I think people want to escape the constant pressure of climbing the social and the economic and the corporate ladder. I think people want to escape the pressure of constantly trying to one-up the Joneses or seem more popular than you or have the next best Instagram shot with the most likes and the most Facebook friends. The constant pressure to get married or to get divorced. The constant pressure to how do you want kids, to how many kids do you want to have, the constant pressure of picking a major or what career do you need to get into, this constant pressure of just adulting, I guess. But adulting in a way that we were told that this is what adulting looks like. I think when you're a kid or when you're a teenager, you're allowed to have passions and dreams and goals, and you're allowed to go ape shit over them. But when you become an adult, it's almost like you're told to quiet down that passion, that little voice. And I feel like I like to believe that we all have a little naggy voice inside of us that tells us it's supposed to be more than life than just this. That life is not just supposed to be survived. Life is not supposed to be just drudged through. That life is supposed to be lived. And I think we all kind of have that little voice, but I think the older we get, we're told by society to quiet that voice down, that's just for kids. As an adult, you just put your head down, you be grateful for what you have, and you just get through life. And I'm a big advocate for being grateful and thankful for what's in front of you before you can ask for more. But there's nothing wrong with asking for more and wanting more and pursuing more. And again, everybody's success looks differently. Somebody else's success can be living in a tiny house or even like a yurt or a tent or something by a lake, and that's all they need and that's all they would ever need, and they're at peace and happy with that situation. And somebody else's success is being a big CEO or a giant corporate company and having a penthouse and a lot of cars and a lot of women. There's nothing wrong with either, but both successes don't fit each other. So you can't just say like this is the rule book and this is how everybody should live their lives and expect everybody to be happy with that. So I think I don't want to say movement, but I think more and more people are adopting the travel lifestyle and the digital nomad lifestyle because they realize that that doesn't fit them anymore. People are no longer want to be the cog in a machine that they don't even like. You know what I mean? I think in my humble opinion, that a lot of people are just sort of static or complacent and sometimes even unhappy in their lives, and they just were told that's just life, that's just being an adult, and just deal with it. And I think people travel to escape that, ideology that either they never really believed in, or because they did go on one little holiday, they realized that that isn't something they believe in any longer, and they want to escape it, so they leave. And so I think that's the great escape, just leaving this idea of what life is supposed to look like for you, and deciding that I'm going to create the life that I want and that's right for me. Everyone doesn't fit the same thing, you know what I mean? Traveling is great for me, but for you, you can be like, nope, that is not for me, and that's totally fine. So I think people who are travelers are just saying like, that is just not for me. And recently, with the way what's going on in current events these days, this anger and frustration and this divide, especially in America and in Europe, have their own problems that I'm aware of but not educated in depth enough in to even discuss. I'm American, so I'm talking about America, that this extremes that's going on right now in America and in media on either side, a lot of people just aren't down for that and are leaving. Like, as much as people want to complain and say, oh my god, like, life is so horrible for me because I'm oppressed and I'm a minority and I'm a woman and all this stuff, like, if we want to admit it or not, 2017 is the best time to be alive as a woman and as a minority, whether that's black or Asian or brown or whatever. 2017 is the best time right now for us to be alive. And does that mean it's all fixed and perfect, and racism and discrimination and prejudice and sexism, ages and whatever is all just gone and dissipated and now we're all kumbaya? No, that's not what that means. 2017 is a pretty good time to be around as a black woman, for me, in my opinion. So I'm not saying that everything in America is bad, but at the same time, I feel like there's something that's not right. There's something broken in America, and I feel like in Western cultures in general. But just speaking of America, I feel like there's something broken. And if you look at the statistics, depression rates have tripled. The suicide rates is going up dramatically. The people taking psychotropic medication is skyrocketing. People who are taking opium and painkillers, the overdoses to opium and painkillers are going up really fast. And this has all happened within the last 40 years. Depression, suicide, anxiety, medication, all that stuff is just rapidly getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And some people might say, well, now it's just because we're able to identify mental illness more. People are more wanting to come out and come forward that they're dealing with these certain things. Yes, that is true, but no, that's not the cause of this such a fast growth and depression and suicide that's going on in America. You know, America, we take up 87% of psycho medications, psychotherapeutic medications, pharmaceuticals. So you have to ask yourself, like, why is that? Why are people getting more depressed? Why are more and more people feeling the need to medicate themselves? Why more people are committing suicide? It's because, in my opinion, there's something not really right. There's something broken, and I think people are seeing that and they want to just escape from that. They want to say, okay, doing the same thing over and over again is supposed to be the definition of insanity, right? So why am I going to just stick to what you guys keep telling me to do and just doing the same thing over and over again, constantly repeating the same cycle over and over again, when that doesn't seem to be working for everybody anymore? So I'm going to go and detach from that, and I'm going to go figure out what works for me. So number 2 is running away. Running away, like literally running away from whatever life you were living back at home that just was not for you anymore. You're running away, and it's different from escaping. Escaping is realizing that doesn't work for you anymore. I'm going to leave and I'm going to find what works for me. And I think running away is literally kind of running away from your problems. People who were unhappy, people who were depressed, people who had a lot of anxiety, people who were stressed out, people who are just miserable is running away from that misery and from that depression and from that anxiety and from that sadness into a place where they think that maybe they can gain their peace of mind somewhere else. I don't personally believe that traveling is the cure for everything. I know a lot of people who travel all the time and make it seem like it is the cure for everything. Just travel and your life will be utopic. Like, I don't believe traveling is the cure for everything, but I've mentioned in my other videos that I feel like when you do travel to and create an atmosphere for yourself that's less stressful, that has less reason for you to be anxious, that gives you the space you need, whether that be the atmosphere you create around yourself, the people you surround yourself with, or whether that just be financially, just giving yourself the financial break to have the space to heal yourself. And I've talked about this before, where one of the reasons why I feel like Southeast Asia is just a great place to come start off your traveling abroad or living abroad is because it's easier on the pockets. And I know that it's very hard to heal yourself emotionally and mentally and spiritually if you're constantly struggling to pay your bills, when you're constantly struggling to pay your mortgage, when there's just this pressure from society and just from your friends and family and your peers and everybody around you in your ear all the time. It can be hard to quiet those voices and then find the space to really take care of yourself. And so even though I don't think traveling cures that, it still gives you the space you need to take care of that. So traveling in itself isn't going to be like, oh, now I'm not depressed anymore, now I don't have anxiety anymore, now I'm not stressed anymore, now whatever demons or maybe even addictions I've had in the past is just going to simply disappear. But now I have a space in the room to breathe, so I can actually look in and take care of myself. And sometimes it's hard to do that back in America. So number 3, searching. I believe a lot of people who decide to travel long term and live abroad are searching for something. They now escaped or ran away from something that's not working for them anymore, and now they're searching for what does work for them. And they're searching for happiness, they're searching for a peace of mind, they're searching to be content even, and they're on that journey, on that path to figure out what does work for them. What does bring them solitude? What does bring them peace of mind? What does bring them serenity? I think that's what a lot of people are looking for. And I think one of the reasons why people who travel long term are so joyous about it, or constantly pushing it, or this is the best thing that's ever happened to me, this is going to change your life, is because once you find something that really brings you happiness, you feel a need to want to spread that message. You feel a need to want to spread that joy to everybody else and tell everyone else that they need to do the same things. Again, traveling isn't for everybody, and you don't have to travel for this to happen. But I've been seeing this sort of movement happen even with people who don't travel. Like the tiny house movement, when people are now downsizing their lives and realizing, wait a minute, why am I trying to keep up with the Joneses again? Why do I need a mini mega mansion again? And I don't even know what to put in the rooms, and I can't even enjoy because I'm working myself to death. Why do I need this again? And so people are selling all their belongings and they're downsizing into smaller houses, or even yurts and tents, and people using different vehicles as houses, renovating buses and trucks, hashtag van life, and people just forever road tripping. So it's not just traveling. A lot of people are figuring out that I don't have to live my life this way. I can live it this other way, and I can figure out how life works for me. And it's even with diet, veganism and vegetarianism is becoming bigger and bigger, because people are realizing, wait a minute, okay, so you're pumping us with all these chemicals and it doesn't seem to be really working, so I'm gonna figure out what works for me and take my health into my own hands. And so again, you don't have to travel for any of this to happen. You don't have to travel to disconnect from what that doesn't work for you. You don't have to travel to fix yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You don't have to travel to find your piece of happiness, to find your corner of happiness in this world, to be content. You don't have to travel to do all those things. I'm just saying people travel for these reasons. And I am generalizing. I'm sure there's people out there that says, no, I don't travel for any of those reasons. But for the most part, when I come in contact with people who have been traveling for years and years, these are what they have to say. This is what they have to say. And that's why a lot of people who travel long term are very much into alternative living, because they realize once they start traveling, a lot of the things that they were sort of taught by their society isn't what works for them, and they figured out that I can just do what works for me. So I didn't really mean for this video to be really long, and I'm sorry if I felt like all over the place and low energy, because I feel a little bit ill today. But I just wanted to make this video on like, why do people travel? I've had these conversations so many times with other people who've been traveling long term, and we all kind of say the same thing to each other. And yeah, so that's it. That's my video, guys. If you like this video, please like it. If you want to share this video, guys, it really helps, guys, if you share it. If you have any comments what you think the reason why people start to travel long term, please leave it in a comment section below. If you want to continue to follow me on this crazy beautiful game called life, please subscribe. And if you subscribe, please hit the bell to get the notifications when I do upload, and check out the links below. And thank you from Live, Love, Life, and Travel.